I've reviewed dozens of cookware brands, and in this video, I show you the 12 most expensive pots and pans I've tested. I reveal which ones are worth it, which ones are not, and why. I also share with you the best alternatives that cost less but perform almost the same. The first brand is Field Company. Their 12-inch cast iron skillet is listed at $215 on fieldcompany.com. That's about 7 times more expensive than the top-selling brand on the market, Lodge. The main benefit of Field is that it's lightweight and heats fast, but since the construction is thinner than most cast iron skillets, it doesn't retain heat as well. If you want a cast iron skillet that's easy to move around, Field is worth the money, but you can get similar performance at a lower cost with a carbon steel skillet like Matfer or Made In. 360 Cookware makes good quality stainless steel cookware in the USA, but it's really expensive. The 11.5-inch frying pan is $220 on 360cookware.com. The main benefit you get with 360 Cookware is their vapor cooking technology. Essentially, their lid is designed to seal tightly and lock in moisture so you can cook food in its natural juices with little to no added fat. I've tried vapor cooking a few times and I'm not a huge fan. It can get really messy and it's easy to burn the food if you don't do it right. I'm also not a fan of their helper handle. It sticks out more than necessary, but isn't wide enough to fit my hand. Unless you're into vapor cooking, I'd pass on this brand. You can get similar performance for way less from brands like Goldilocks and Tramontina. All-Clad D5 is another expensive cookware collection. The 12-inch frying pan costs $250 on allclad.com. However, it's made in the USA, the brushed finish hides fingerprints and smudges, and the performance is excellent. Besides price, the main downside is the handle. It has a deep groove on top that prevents your hand from slipping, but it's not the most comfortable design to hold. If you're a fan of the handle, All-Clad D5 is worth the investment. But if you prefer rounder or flatter handles, Made In, Heritage Steel, and All-Clad D3 Everyday are cheaper and better options. The Heston ProBond 12.5-inch frying pan is listed for $250 on Heston's website, which is about the same as All-Clad D5. However, it comes with upgrades like sealed rims, flush rivets, and a more comfortable handle. My one minor complaint is that the end of the handle is thin and the hanging loop is unnecessarily large, so you can't really hold on to the whole handle. You need to choke up a bit. If you're looking for high-end stainless steel cookware that will last, Heston ProBond is a solid investment. But if you don't care about the sealed rims and flush rivets, it's not worth the high price. Within the Heston ProBond collection, there's a series of pans called ProBond Titum. These pans have the same construction and design, but the cooking surface has a non-stick coating, and instead of $250 for a 12.5-inch pan, this collection is listed for $270 on Heston's website. Regardless of how well this collection performs, no one should ever spend $270 on a non-stick pan. With stainless steel and cast iron, it's possible to justify that type of investment because those materials can last forever, but not with non-stick. Unless you baby them, most non-stick pans need to be replaced within 5 years. Instead of Heston ProBond Titum, go for a pan like Tramontina Professional. It's listed for less than $50 on Tramontina's website, and it performs almost the same. All-Clad Copper Core is similar to All-Clad D5, but the handle is longer at almost 9.5 inches, the exterior is polished, and instead of a thin steel core, it has a thick copper core. The copper results in fast, even heating, but it makes this pan heavy and much more pricey. Instead of $250 for a 12-inch pan, this copper core pan sells for $280 on allclad.com, and that's when it's on sale. It's much more expensive when it's not. Copper core's added benefits are nice to have, but certainly not essential. For most home cooks, aluminum core stainless steel pans like All-Clad D3, Made In, and Heritage Steel are a much better value. The DeMeyer Atlantis ProLine 11-inch frying pan is listed for $300 on Zwilling.com. The main benefit you get at this high price is thickness. At 5.5 millimeters, it's almost twice as thick as brands like All-Clad and Heston. Because of that, it heats slower but retains heat much better. It cooks like cast iron, but since it's stainless steel, it doesn't require the seasoning or maintenance. One warning, the welded handle can break off. It's rare, but it happened to me. If you're okay living with that risk, this collection is definitely worth it. Le Creuset and Staub are two of the most popular enameled cast iron brands, but they're also two of the most expensive. Both brands list their 5.5 quart Dutch ovens for around $400 on their websites. Some colors cost even more. While this is a significant investment, both brands perform exceptionally well and can last for decades. Their heavy lids lock in moisture, and the thick walls retain heat and maintain steady temperatures. Le Creuset has two main advantages over Staub: wider handles and more colors. However, my testing shows that Staub retains moisture better, and its self-basting lid distributes liquid more evenly over the pot. You can get a decent Dutch oven that costs significantly less, but issues with the enamel chipping are much more common with those brands. For this reason, I believe investing in Le Creuset or Staub is worthwhile if it's in your budget. If you don't want to spend that much, brands like Cuisinart, Tramontina, and Made In are great alternatives. The Heston Copper Bond 12.5-inch frying pan is the third most expensive frying pan I've tested. It's listed for $420 on HestonCulinary.com. This pan heats fast and evenly and has the same long handle, wide cooking surface, and flared rims as Heston's Pro Bond collection, but due to the copper, it's heavy and the exterior tarnishes. Similar to All-Clad Copper Core, this collection is only worth it if you really value the responsiveness of copper. And the reality is, it's not enough of a difference that the average home cook would notice. Legend is a much cheaper alternative. They make copper core pans with similar materials and construction for less than half the price. Heston Nano Bond is even more expensive than Copper Bond. Instead of $420, the 12.5-inch Nano Bond frying pan is listed for $450 on Heston's website. Although the price is outrageously high, this pan has two unique benefits. First, titanium is bonded to the surface, which makes it harder and more resistant to scratches. I tested it with the rough side of a sponge and a knife, and although it's not scratch-proof, it resists damage far better than standard stainless steel. The second benefit is that because the surface is so hard and non-porous, it's ultra smooth. So you get slightly better nonstick properties than a typical steel pan. For most home cooks, these benefits are overkill, but if you have the budget and want to splurge on cookware that maintains its original appearance for a very long time, Heston Nano Bond is one of the best you can buy. This Matfer copper frying pan is the most expensive piece of cookware I've tested by far. It's listed on restaurant supply websites for between $600 and $700, which is ludicrous. I tested it head-to-head against a $60 Goldilocks pan, and although Matfer heated more evenly and retained heat better in my controlled tests, the $60 pan performed the same or better in actual cooking tests. You can't tell the difference between two pieces of salmon cooked in each pan, and the cheaper pan actually did a better job searing pork chops. Besides that, this pan is incredibly heavy at almost 6 pounds, and there's a gap between the pan and the handle where moisture and bacteria can get trapped. Needless to say, I wouldn't recommend spending $700 on this pan. It performs fine, but there's nothing special to justify that price. If you're interested in buying any of the brands I just mentioned, but you don't want to spend a fortune, check out this video where I walk you through 6 ways to save hundreds on high-end cookware. And for more videos like this, click the logo to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.